of course, went to Ash Wednesday Mass and did my thing for the day. Got my ring back because it was too big, and it was coming off, and actually went missing twice. Found it twice. Decided if it goes missing again, probably won't find it. So had a really good jeweler here in the area resize it, and looked around the store. They had an emerald necklace with emerald earrings to go with it. I liked it. They had a sapphire necklace with sapphire earrings to go with it. I liked it. Yep. Yeah, I went to Ash Wednesday Mass. It's not a holy day of obligation, but you should go. It's the first day of Lent. So not only do we abstain, we fast. I had a biscuit with eggs today and a few pistachio nuts, and that's it. Tonight we're just gonna eat salad. Friday is, I think I'm gonna make probably a vegetable soup. Some of it with tiny little pieces of pasta in it because that's the way the Italians make it, but I can't eat pasta. I'm avoiding carbs, so, and that's not a thing I gave up for Lent. I don't eat them anymore. Whenever I can avoid them. So, anyway, yeah, I went to Ash Wednesday Mass and did my duty. Again, it's not a holy day of obligation, but you gotta go. So yeah, it's the first time I've actually gone to Ash Wednesday Mass. Gosh, in like 5 years, 4 years. Anyway, so anyway, what do I want to talk about? Okay, first off, and Gina Carano went on the Glenn, watched this guy cross, went on the Glenn Beck show, and on Blaze TV, and did an interview. And of course, the big YouTubers, the idiots, freaking out about it, and she opened up more about what's on there, blah, blah, blah. This is me. Wait to talk to Tucker. Go on Joe Rogan. Go, I don't know, to anybody else but Glenn Beck. Why? I used to like Glenn Beck. I used to listen to him when we lived in Florida. But he started coming off like a crazy conspiracy theorist. And, you can actually question the narrative without sounding like you're one butterfly net short of being Alex Jones. Okay. And the thing about Glenn Beck is that he goes all out. I mean, he's nuts. Okay. So I am not really a fan of his. And my reaction was, you went where to do what? Why? Now, why would I say that? If she goes on Tucker Carlson, more people will see her. If she goes on Tucker Carlson, yeah, he is. I mean, he basically was forced out at Fox News because he started causing trouble with George Soros. Granted, George Soros is a piece of shit. All right, everybody knows it. I don't need to run around screaming that the chemicals turn frogs gay in order to be able to say that and sound halfway rational. But Glenn has a way of sounding like he's a cuckoo box, okay? And when all that stuff went down with Soros, it was during the rise of the Tea Party. Beck left on his own, I think. I think Fox News was like, we really think you should leave. And Beck said, fine, I will. And he did. Started the Blaze TV. He had people like Tommy Lahren and Dana Lash, who's a friend of mine, on. there on his thing and others. And when Tommy came on board, it that was a chemistry thing that just went sideways. I like both girls. There's no reason for what happened. I don't know. Dana left. She went to NRA TV, and we all know what happened there. Wayne LaPierre is an idiot. I can safely say that as a life member of the National Rifle Association that he's a fucking idiot. But Glenn Beck, I mean, Dana said he was the best boss she ever had. Fine. He's nuts, and I wouldn't have anything to do with him. You want to be taken seriously. Okay. You do not want Disney to go, oh, you went on his show? Because they can do that. They can do that. Now, like, what would have been a better idea? Well, she's been on Joe Rogan. She could go back on Joe Rogan. She's never been on Tucker Carlson. I bet $1 billion Tucker would like to interview her. First off, she'd reach millions of more people. Second of all, because he is actually, despite the hate he's engendering by doing actual journalism, pretty seriously a guy that people take seriously. Okay. Go there, go to friendly outlets that aren't being run by psychos. Glenn is nuts. Okay, so that's the first thing. And what was derived from that conversation is, according to the DK brothers, that she's never going to settle. Ugh! I had to actually dig to find out what they were talking about. Because the moment that happened, they really tried to bury who she was talking to, like she was talking to them or something. Yeah, she will. Okay. Yeah, she will. Because what she wants is her job back. We know there's a lot of stuff I can't say about this, but I know a lot of stuff going on in the background. Okay, stop crying. You were outside. So it's one of those things where you hear people who aren't lawyers, they don't understand how this works. One's a travel agent, one sells insurance, and the other, I don't know, he is a few songs short of being Kermit the Frog as a reporter. Remember the Muppet Newscast. They don't understand. They never can look at the big picture and the subtlety. Okay, it's always has to be written, obviously, in crayon for them, and the whole thing goes flying over their heads. So I looked at it and saying she made a mistake by talking to Beck. All right, that was, a dumb move. All right, her lawyer should have said no, and I would think that law firm that's representing her would have said, not to do it. Now, she could do a thing on X and do one of those spaces with Elon Musk. All right. She could do it with I don't know, Matt Walsh or, again, Tucker, others, Matt Taibbi or somebody. I mean, James O'Keefe. But why Glenn Beck? Ugh. The guy just, no. So there's one. And we've got Bob Iger with that incredibly long campaign ad. Vote Disney, whatever. And hey, Carlos, he's basically saying don't vote for either activist investment groups. People vote for the Disney board. And it's all about, again, like I told people, if you weren't paying attention, It's a good ad. If you were paying attention, it's weak. Okay, we all here know what's going on, right? I mean, we all kind of got a clue. So let's go and see where Disney stocks are. Because this is what we do here. This is where it's very important, okay? Disney shares, it's pretty much the end of the day for the stock exchange. So now when I looked, they were up. When I looked, they were down. So we'll have to see. Open. This thing, we'll wait. It was like at 110 where it was before. It went down a little bit, and you know, it's one of those things where it gets up to a certain point and it stabilizes, and then I don't know why this isn't going up. Can one of you guys check it out and tell me? Okay, it's 11:31. So it sounds like there was a minimal buying spree. Okay, what does that mean? Not a lot. Okay. Do I think Elon Musk is buying Disney stock? Yeah, I do. There's no way I can prove it. I don't know where you'd find. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it came on now. I don't know where you'd find who actually owns shares. But yeah, this is it. See, there it is. So, you know, is Musk buying more? Maybe. Is Nelson Peltz buying more? Probably yes. Why? Because the ad that Iger created isn't about the board. It's about staving off a hostile takeover, which you can't deny it. When Elon said to that guy on that red carpet, I'm here to hang out with some friends and mulling over a companies I might acquire. You know, then he had that look on his face and you're like, what's he talking about? Are you kidding? There you go. And I'm going to say this is not an inflated price. This is where Disney stock should have been, it should be a lot higher. It should be up at 200. Now, we had somebody, some Disney shill attacking Elon's because Tesla lost quite a bit of stock points, but you gotta understand, electric cars are not popular right now. Ford is not making them. My advice to Elon: develop a hybrid. Develop the best fucking hybrid in the world. All right. This is where, look, if people can get the gasoline they need, this vehicle can be driven in the wintertime in below zero weather. Electric cars can't. They're not made for it. Why wouldn't you build a hybrid? Why wouldn't you, look, your customer should have choices, even in your own product line. Okay. And I believe that if he took one of his electric cars and came up with an engineering idea that was kind of a similar drive to what Honda has in the CRZ, that my husband had one, best vehicle you could ever think about owning. It was fast, it was efficient. Hey, Mike, it got us where we needed to go. It started in the winter, and you went from spending $50 a week filling that thing to about $20 a week. because it traded off. It would run on gas, run on electric. It would go back and forth. That's a perfect, it's like a symphony, okay? And you've got, the oil companies are making money. The oil business is okay. And the people who believe in their little climate cult hearts that they're saving the planet. Hey, 007, have what they want. Awesome. So, yeah. So the guy on X was saying, oh, look at how much stock price Tesla dropped. Disney could buy Tesla. Really? And I wiped him out. I basically said, look, dumbass, look at their stock price. All right. Tesla could eat Disney and not even feel it. Okay. The fact of the matter is, Disney has, $75 billion or $70 billion in loans and debt, corporate debt. They've got other issues going on that would not make it possible for Disney to buy a factory that Tesla owns. All right. So it's like, I look at him and go, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But see, here's the deal. Disney shills, sequel trilogy shills. First off, they all hate Elon, even though they use his platform. Second of all, if they ever did take economics in school, anything important that they were taught, right over their heads. So my thing is this, I kind of look at him and go, you're an idiot. Now we got CBR, Comic Book Resources, with an article out there demanding that we revisit Rey, that she deserves a chance. You find that. If I can find that. Here, I'll show you the headline. Look, first off, if we're supposed to look at her and feel sorry for her, I'm sorry. Daisy Ridley is an entitled little brat who came from landed gentry in Britain. She's probably a perfectly nice person, I don't know. But I don't give a shit. You're kind of like, why does she deserve a second chance? Why? She doesn't. I mean, she's had 3 chances, as Cross said. So, no. Okay? Again, these people, the Walt Disney Company actually profited $4 billion from the sequel trilogy. They actually think that. I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy, who probably doesn't know anything about making a profit, obviously, thinks that somehow Lucasfilm made a profit for Disney. The only movie that made a profit is The Force Awakens. And when you watch it with a critical eye, you will suddenly realize what a dumpster fire that movie fucking is. All right. From Poe and Finn meeting to Poe, parachuting out of that TIE fighter and Finn being thrown clear and then Poe just disappearing, to Rey being able to fly the Millennium Falcon with zero spaceflight experience, okay, to whatever that was with Han and Leia. Adam Driver, just that alone. When you first see him, he's cool. But the moment he takes off his mask, you're like, oh, Jesus. Emo douchebag. Okay, there you go. Rey, here's a question. If Rey's a fucking Palpatine, why the fuck did Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber go to her? Why? Stupid. Thanks, Cross. So I'm like going, in reality, The Force Awakens was a dumpster fire. And it disrespected and dishonored George Lucas and Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill. There you go. Now, TLJ capitalized on that in a way that you could never even imagine. And then The Rise of Palpatine, that was just a morass of crap. Poorly written scenes strung together, and you could see where the reshoots were. Okay. Oh, yeah, I think, yeah. It would have. The only thing that made sense, now when you're watching it and you're thinking that they're actually following the rules of in-universe rules, when she got the lightsaber, you're like, she's either Luke's daughter or she's dumbass's twin. Because what I think he said it in The Force Awakens, but I know he said it in the Lego movie when Kyle Ron says to her, "It's you," like he recognized her. Okay, and it's like, yeah, what's going on here? Okay, there's so many ways they could have pulled this out to where it made sense. Okay, but yeah, his line, it is you. So he knew her. Now, Trevorrow wanted to make her like the daughter of the maid or something. It's like, I think Leia probably would have had cleaning droids. All right. She wouldn't have had a human servants. Doesn't make any sense. Han would have probably bought her a bunch of different things like that. Okay, so that in of itself is stupid. The whole idea is typical British class bullshit. Okay, the prince and the seventh girl. It's like, the only thing that would make sense is if Rey was his sister, or Rey was Luke's daughter. That's it, and it would have been disrespectful of what George wanted to make Rey his daughter, all right? Because George never wanted that. George never wanted that for Luke. I mean, look, fine, it's fine in the EU, okay? Everybody wants to go off and drool all over Mara Jade, but if you really look at that relationship, she was not nice to Luke. She was not good to him. Okay, I don't like her. I'm sorry. That's just me. So making this a sibling rivalry of a sort, making them twins would have, because look, biologically speaking, if a woman comes from a family that has twins, she's very, very much likely to have twins herself. So if she's a twin, the chances of her having a twin is, you know, yeah, I could see that, but I think George wanted Luke to be the Jedi Grand Jedi Master. Okay, I just think that's what he wanted, and it makes sense to me. So Leia having twins would make sense. Leia having twins, and then other kids would make sense. They have one. Leia's self-centered, doesn't care. Han is self-centered, doesn't care, which doesn't make any sense, and it's not consistent with their characters. I mean, if Han didn't care, he never would have come back to drive Vader off of Luke so Luke could blow up the Death Star. That never would have happened. Han would not have stayed too long with the rebellion if he didn't care. Okay. Leia was the person who went to go rescue him. So the idea that she would let her son turn out this way is unbelievably fucking stupid. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. And, so we've got, let's see this stupid, let's see this again. No! Adam Driver doesn't want to come back. He's not going to. None of the other guys are going to come back because they had a bad time. Okay. She is probably merely using the Star Wars movie to get more attention for her career, which she's not out of work, but she doesn't have as much going for her as Adam Driver. And I just look at him and go, look at Francis Ford Coppola and go, really? Sir, why? Okay. But I happen to think Adam Driver's ugly, and he is. He's overrated. He looks like a mule crossed with a crow, crossed with a largemouth bass, and a bat. Okay. He's just creepy looking. And he doesn't, it doesn't, no. And fact of the matter is, Bob Iger didn't mention it last week. He mentioned Ahsoka. He mentioned Mando and Grogu, and that's it. That's it. And there you go. Okay. And that's all. They're not going to ever have a they're not going to ever have a Rey movie. Don't give a shit. No one wants it. I do keep the finances in this house, and I know what it is to look at and I know what it is to balance a budget. And I know what it is to say, we can't afford that this week. Okay? We can't afford that this week. So, you've got to see where income is coming from and where you're going to put it. Okay? And a balanced budget is what you really want if for everything. And for a business like Disney, they got to make money. Doomcock has got a video out there. I haven't listened to it. But it's basically going out there like Hasbro is this close to ending their relationship with Disney. It's like, I doubt that. I really just know. It's one of those, things I don't really think that's going to happen. But, you got to look at that and think, how badly did Kathleen Kennedy screw them over with Star Wars? The reason why we didn't get any new Rey figures and really anything new for The Rise of Palpatine is because every time Hasbro would come up with an idea, Kennedy would force a change into the script and that idea would go away. Okay, it's just, what? You know, and look, there were elements of each movie that were interesting. Oh, shit. I think we hit that guy at the same time, Cross. Um, you had those little mechanic dudes that Favreau used in Mandalorian. You had that, you had that, there were some other things that were used in other things. You've got that senator that is probably tied to the Empire in it, and he's sequel trilogy sort of timeline. But that's because it works. Characters I would keep. Lor Santeca. You could connect him to Bail Organa somehow. Aldradian nobleman. You could turn him into an adventurer, and it goes all over the galaxy, uncovering hidden secrets and meeting with races of peoples that had not yet been contacted. An adventurer, not like Indiana Jones, but you could see that, and so that actually would, I think, work. And have him being very devoted to the Force, the Church of the Force or whatever. Well, here's the deal. Daisy needs to let it go. Adam at least has a presence of mind to say, fuck this shit, I'm done with Star Wars. Oscar doesn't want it. Boyega doesn't want it. And to the Disney haters, it is not that they hate Disney. Disney is the biggest game in town. They would like to work on a Disney project. It is that they hate what Kennedy did to them. Okay, because look, they're victims here. And Daisy falling for Kennedy's bullshit. What? Why? You gotta go, Daisy, what the fuck? But, apparently there's at least an element, a small one on X, that wants it because there's not many people on any of the Star Wars, at least the boards that I go on to on Facebook that want it. You don't see any sequel trilogy love on Insta, all right? If you say something shitty about it, a bunch of fake accounts will start screaming at you. But, as long as you know they're fake. It is only on X, and here's the thing about it, and this is a word to the wise. If, anybody at Lucasfilm who is desperate to save the sequel trilogy is listening, let it go. It wants to die. Let it go. Okay. It needs to, the sequel trilogy needs to die. All right. It is past, it's past its by date by decades. Okay. It's done. Okay. It's they can't give the shit away, the merchandise. They can't get any interest in it. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that, unlike Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger understands that just because it's trending on X doesn't mean it's real. Because as you guys see, there are bots aglow, and they grow and grow and grow. And that's what's going on Twitter X. There's that Jacob Suggs on Twitter, and he's got this account where he makes money in engaging people. So what he does is he trolls for the sequel trilogy. And if you yell at him, you're putting money in his pocket. All right? That's a grift. Just like people using the stuff going on with Gina Carano and adding their own spin to it is a grift. Saying that she won't settle, why wouldn't she? Did but look, you read the court documents. The official now government document that is in the Los Angeles city, courts now. She wants her job back. That's what she wants. Okay. That's all. She wants her job back. And she wants $75,000, which is what she would have earned for 3 episodes of Mandalorian, or more. That's it. And Bob Iger, he just settled a big case with somebody. I can't remember. I'll look it up. I'm not going to do it right now. Disney just settled with somebody. Problem for Lucasfilm is they have 3 lawsuits. They've got the Karen McCarthy lawsuit over the Trashalite. They've got the Duluth, Minnesota outdoor outfitter company suing them and another brand for a bigger, like you have Orvis catalog and they have this thing, and they have this thing and going on, and they're marketing this bag not as theirs. Okay, they're giving this company's called Filson a job to be as part of their catalog. All right, and there's probably profit sharing or whatever. The company that's being sued alongside Lucasfilm did not do that. They marketed that knapsack as theirs. Okay, and it's not. It's not. Okay. Kennedy never asked permission from Filson to use that bag. Okay. Not that doing her due diligence when she doesn't fucking watch dailies, that shouldn't shock you. There's that one. And then there's the Gina Carano mess. The easiest one to solve is Gina. All right. A vast majority of Star Wars fans would be happy. You'll see a lot of crying on Twitter X. The bots will be crying and the snowflakes will be melting. Who fucking cares? But it would be an act of good faith. It would also show the shareholders that Bob Iger is concerned about making money. All right. And he's the CEO of the company. His responsibility is to ethically run the company and to make money for the shareholders. That's it. All right. And he kind of hasn't. All right. And the fact of the matter is, like, if you watch that ad, and I've got it, I uploaded it here yesterday. If you watch that ad, it's a good ad if you haven't been paying attention. And in this day and age, I mean, look at the snowflakes, look at Democrats in general, look at establishment Republicans. They don't pay attention. They don't expect the voters to pay attention. Part of the reason why the Ronna McDaniels and Paul Ryans of the world are so pissed off, they don't want to give a voter the opportunity to vote for the person they want. All right. Which is why all this shit has gone on. they would rather lose an election than see the party change. Look, I am a rhino when it comes to the Republican Party because the moment I can get off the circus, I will get out. I'll go back to being an independent because I have to be. I don't, you know, Scott is a very nice guy. He's very charming and he's very convincing, but I can vote for Donald Trump or RFK Jr., whichever one. And I don't need to be a member of the party. So, there you go. Anyway, what else? So that's just, everything. But when you look at that ad, it is written and created in a way to address shareholders that aren't paying attention. And if you're a shareholder that has, hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in Disney, and you look at that ad, you better be paying attention. You better have had paid attention. Bob Iger, as much as I respect him, is hoping you didn't pay attention to the last 2-3 years. Okay. Because if you did, you're going to see this is the weak ad. This is bullshit. And like, my thing is they don't have anybody on the board that has any media experience. But they're complaining about Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo as not having any experience. Okay. And then Blackwell's is offering 3 different candidates for the board that have a phenomenal amount of experience. And then we've got the 800-pound gorilla in the room named Elon Musk. All right. We all know what he's capable of doing. The man probably walks around with $1 million in his pocket. And when Iger made it a personal thing about taking money away from or not advertising on X, Elon was pissed. And the thing about it is, this is where I think corporate politics is more fun than regular politics. You're going to watch these guys that don't like each other personally get into it. That's exactly what's going on. And actually, Carlos, the board owns a very minimal amount of stock. And according to Peltz and Treon, Restoring the Magic, Bob Iger sold what, $1 billion in Disney stock? So it's like, really? All right, so here's the deal. The best thing, we're the peanut gallery. All we can do is just watch. Okay, what happens? That's it. My thing is, I am intrigued by what's 15 million? I don't know how much they have in stock, but it's very minimal. Peltz may mention that they don't have any stake in the company be doing well. But where was I? I am, 15 million. That's not much at all. Here's the deal. When you're looking at this stuff, okay, just look at Gina Carano is being helped by Elon Musk, who is hanging out with Nelson Peltz apparently. Nelson Peltz is doing, started a proxy war with the Disney board because he wants on. And his backers are Jay Rasulo, Ike Perlmutter, and now what's Elon doing? Elon gets into a fight with Bob Iger, who's desperate to save his job. This is all just fucking awesome right now. And that's, to me, that's kind of entertaining. I'm not sure if it's good for it's good for the franchises. All this shit's going down, but it's entertaining. Things will change. Could wake up some morning and find out Elon Musk basically decided to start a fight and took over Disney. We could wake up in the morning and find out Bob Iger was kicked out. We could wake up in the morning and find out, and I do expect this, that Gina made a deal. I'm the only person that'll say that because it makes sense. All right. Had she not talked to Glenn Beck, it's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why? If you look at it, the only thing that makes sense is her having a sit-down meeting with Favreau, Filoni, and Disney lawyers and working something out. Okay. Because, again, I think they need her. I think she probably needs them, even though, you'll have her little friends in the big YouTube channels get all huffy and puffy because, look, they're driven by hate clicks. They need the money. And this stuff, the drama going on at Lucasfilm and Marvel and Pixar and all these other places, is pretty much entertaining to them, and it gets them money. So there you go. And it's very interesting to me right now. I have, again, you're watching all this go on. None of us can do anything about it. Okay. We can hope and pray and look at the different scenarios that'll play out. We can, look at the people who are being honest. We can look at the people who are being nefarious, and just who has integrity and who doesn't within the YouTube community. We can see the few shills that are left for the sequel trilogy, desperately trying to defend it. Look, that book and that CBR showed up. I have a feeling that they're hearing things that we aren't from their sources, that the Rey movie isn't going to happen, and that the sequel trilogy is probably going to be put in a different timeline. Look, you can't let people name the big YouTuber, say Star Wars is dead, to not just a few hundred people, but thousands of people. Okay, look, they've got the narrative right now. Okay, there are people that are good people that work at Lucasfilm, good people that don't deserve to be given shit by people on YouTube because people on YouTube didn't like what happened to Luke. I don't like what happened to Luke, but that's not, an animator's fault. That's not Jon Favreau's fault. He wasn't there. That's not Dave Filoni's fault. He didn't have anything to do with the movies. He provided what? Voices and probably some lore. That's it. All right. He didn't make any of those idiotic creative decisions. You know, um, they're good people, and they don't deserve having Nerdrotic, J&G, and the rest of that waste of time taking your money and lying to you about what's going on, or telling you that Dave Filoni somehow stabbed Jon Favreau in the back, even though they're making Mando and Grogu a movie together. Okay. You know, they didn't like Ahsoka. So they make everybody want to hate Ahsoka, even if they haven't seen it. Now, did I have problems with it? Yeah, of course. I didn't like, I think they got to kill off Sabine and get rid of Harrison Dula and her stupid fucking son. Oh my God. But everything else was fine. Ezra was great. That guy's a good actor and he's cute, which was refreshing. And seeing him back. You know, so, you know, it was great to see Hayden and, you know, Rosario Dawson together and the kid that played younger Ahsoka. It was great. Why? Because that's Star Wars. You know, then they complain about Ahsoka and Feb centric. Well, let's see. Ahsoka showed up, what, in the first episode of Clone Wars. And that was when George Lucas ran the company. So if you want to yell at anybody, yell at him, okay? You know, the guy you all suddenly came out of the woodwork to defend. How dare they do this to George? How dare she lie to George? I hate Ahsoka. Why is she even here? Tell him that. He was the one that said, Dave, this is a great character. Go for it. There you go. But it was a good show. Look at Kenobi. Kenobi did not break canon. I fucking don't care what you think. You know, there are miserable people out there that want you to think that Obi-Wan going to rescue a kidnapped Leia breaks canon. They wanted him to go rescue Luke because, and it's like, because that's all they think of Star Wars is that. And it's like, first off, no one's gonna kidnap the adopted son of a moisture farmer, unknown moisture farmer on Tatooine, because they don't know who the fuck he is. They don't know, no one knows, except for Obi-Wan Kenobi, Bail Organa, Owen and Beru Lars, and Yoda, that Luke exists, all right? But because Bail Organa is the prefect of Alderaan, he has fame, he's well known in the Imperial Senate. He has an adopted daughter. He, in the archives, is connected to Obi-Wan Kenobi. There you go. How are you going to flesh out Obi-Wan Kenobi? Do something that gets his attention. Okay? That's how you get it. So when she says Ben Kenobi in A New Hope, that's what she said, right? That makes perfect sense. That's who she knew him as. All right. The things that the fight with Vader and Obi-Wan, Vader's still the apprentice. You have to be a real dumpster fire of an IQ not to notice, and was it episode 5, where it opens up where Anakin and his Padawan guys, but his face is older. They did not de-age him. Okay, here's the deal. Darth Vader still feels like Obi-Wan's apprentice, and he always has, okay? He always has. All right. Obi-Wan, this is the same bullshit that went on their whole relationship when Anakin was a Padawan. And it is still going on to the present day, and that's what that was representing. Okay. There's a reason why they didn't de-age Hayden. All right, and when you look at the present moment, Vader standing on the bridge of that Star Destroyer looking out at a star field. And in the duel moment, he's looking at Padme's apartment. Okay, across from the Jedi Temple. There you go. All right. That's what that was. So none of that broke canon. But we've got a bunch of fucking idiots who are retarded that don't understand anything about storytelling at all. Okay. And really the weakest part of, I think, the Kenobi show was Reva. You know, and, you know, the shit, look, they got an actress who's not a very good actress. People noticed it. And the moment people started complaining about it, Lucasfilm came out screaming, "You're a racist." You know, I don't see anybody screaming about Rosario Dawson. Okay, there are plenty of great black actresses of that age who should who could have taken that role. And it's very interesting that they chose this one and then, you know, decided she would be because she's not a good actress. She just isn't. So anyway, all right, guys, this is just a fun throwaway ad or a throwaway live stream. I just wanted to address some things. First off, we'll rehash. Addressing the DK brothers and the Glenn Beck interview of Gina. She'll settle. This is an easy fix. Okay, she'll settle. All right. And she'll be back. She's gonna come back to Star Wars. I mean, I you know, basically, if you look at the legal documents and then say she doesn't want to come back, it's like, why are you suing them for your job then? You know, it just is. These people are stupid. Secondly, Iger is terrified now, not only of the proxy war, he's terrified of the he's terrified of the fact that Elon Musk is now sniffing around Disney's financials. Okay, looking to acquire another company. Here's another thing. You know, basically that's it. I mean, the other stuff I was just, talking about what Disney did right and what Disney did good or wrong, and what Lucasfilm has done right and what they've done wrong. All right. I don't like all of The Mandalorian. I didn't, Katie O'Brien is, first off, she can't act. She's a terrible actress. Second of all, she is a cow, okay? Why is she there? All right. Didn't like her. That whole thing in The Mandalorian with her and the doctor's like, whatever. Anyway. So, anyway, I gotta go. I've got some stuff to do. Again, it's Ash Wednesday. We're fasting. That's it. You guys, if you haven't gone to mass, or if you belong to a denomination that does services on today, go and do it. Go. Okay. But I gotta go. We'll see what's going on in the world, and I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Where do I turn this off?